Welcome back. We're with David Burrows. David, let's get back to the phone. So far, so good. Raj in Calgary has a question. Hey, Raj.
Hi, Anita and David. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have always learned something listening to you guys. And I have always tried to, come and watch when David is online. I respect his opinion. I wanted to know about NPI, Northern Power. But before I ask that question, I just wanted to share some information I wrote and read on International Economic Forum. Since the alternate energy is growing at an exponential rate, China, U.S., and India are moving forward. How does it affect the fossil fuel oil and gas industry?
It's a good question. Good question. Raj doing his homework.
Yeah, so look, alternative energy is the place to be if you're going to be in energy. Just take a look at TAN, which is the ETF for the solar group, versus XOP, which is the ETF for the carbon producers, right, oil and gas producers.
It's all there.
And arguably solar and wind have both become really less expensive than most of the certainly coal producers and natural gas energy producers. So this is, I think, really interesting, and certainly ESG plays into it because it's pushing investment dollars toward the alternatives, right? We own NEE in the U.S., which is NextEra Energy, and they are the leader in renewable energy in the U.S. and based in Florida, wind power and so on. So Northland Power is also in the alternative space. It looks really attractive. It's behaved well both on its own but against its sector, and has got some nice growth to it. So nice way to play that in Canada. NextEra Energy is a great way to play alternative energy in the U.S.
Okay, David, Raj, thank you so much. Let's skip over to Oakville, Ontario, where Wilson has a question. Hey, Wilson.
Thank you, Anita, for taking my call.
You bet.
My question regarding the Lockheed Martin.
Right.
And I looking about the 1 year's chart, daily chart. In the September to October, they had about a 10% correction, now to the double top now. I'm just asking David whether it's a good time to jump in again, or in addition, we already covered Boeing and United Technology, and now is Lockheed Martin. Which one is David's top pick?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Wilson. We were talking about this during the break.
Yeah, so I don't know if you could put up a weekly chart on the Lockheed Martin.
Okay, we'll do it 1 week?
No, weekly, like a weekly periodic chart that goes back 3, 4, 5 years. Look, we have owned Lockheed Martin for a long, long time as a proxy on the defense sector. And
we can't get that chart. Apologies, David.
Okay, so then it went into correction when the market started to correct in February of 18. And chopped its way sideways and broke out this summer. And certainly pulled back a little after breaking out, sort of into the top of the trading range, and is now making a turn and heading out. So there are countless sector charts that look like this, where you've had an 18-month correction, you've come out of the top of the range, you've tested the top of the range, and now things are tipping higher. The S&P did this. The NASDAQ did this, the semiconductor index did this, all of the leading groups have done this, and the defense sector has as well. Lockheed Martin's a great play on aerospace and defense. It doesn't have the same current news risk that Boeing has, more expensive though. I think that Lockheed Martin looks great. I think that you can.
Which one would you take, Boeing or Lockheed?
Well, I think that you just have to, I think that the risk reward is probably better on Boeing, but Lockheed, and so more upside. But Lockheed Martin's a great way to play aerospace. And so, I just really like the whole group, aerospace and defense. There's natural growth in commercial. There's natural growth in defense globally. And, I think you're not going to get hurt here.
Okay. David, that's the end of our show, except we have top picks coming right up. Our viewers certainly enjoyed picking your brain. Thank you, sir. And we'll take a quick commercial break and tell you where David thinks you should put your money. Stay tuned.